it was a pleasing set of results for us in a somewhat challenging market that we all know about. I think the first thing I'd point to would be, general slowing in the economy in the first half of last year, and then obviously the COVID impacts February onwards in the year. Some of the strengths of the business through that both periods has really been around our bulk services business, our QUB bulk activities. Really no impact at all from COVID, and continuing to win contracts on an organic growth basis, with some new ones during the second half of the period we just finished. Our oil and gas and obviously the Shell contract being implemented has been positive, and obviously the announcement around Woolworths at Moorebank and the like. Obviously during COVID, we spent an enormous amount of time making sure work sites right around the country in New Zealand and everywhere were COVID safe. The challenges, I suppose, the strengths I just talked about, the challenges really related to container volumes through our ports that flowed through to Patrick. There were some numbers in our presentation around Patrick volumes, Patrick holding a market share around 45% on a yearly basis. The market down about 5%, a little bit less than people thought perhaps in February when COVID and the pandemic started. The good thing for Patrick's is constant market share, as I said. Most of the shipping rationalisation, shipping mergers and acquisitions, and then consortium restructurings have played through in the market. And Patrick doesn't have a contract expiring in FY21 and has extended its contract with major customers, Maersk and MSC, till late 2023. Obviously, relevant today is the industrial stoppages around the country, all part of the enterprise bargaining negotiations. The employees through the union have a right to take protected action. It's just unfortunate that what has happened is that DP World has been negotiating in excess of 18 months, and so has Hutchison, and we've started in the last 3 months. And all of that's come together to have some unfortunate impacts, particularly at Port Botany, last week, this week. I can assure you we're working through, as we are obliged to do, to try and reach an agreement with the union. And that should play out over the next few weeks to months, hopefully sooner than later. The other areas of challenge for us were obviously new car sales been down significantly, and imported motor vehicles and storage levels in Australia very low. We had impacts across break bulk and general cargo activities in our AAT and stevedoring business. And we obviously had the impact of New Zealand shutting down its forestry industry completely, where we lost about 5 weeks in New Zealand. So overall, we were pleased with the result given the challenges and the costs. I won't spend too much time, but there was a breakdown in our presentation pack on the impact of COVID-19. Very hard to estimate accurately, given in excess of 140 different sites, all operating differently, different commodities, to give precise numbers, but we came from the bottom up and really sort of identified roughly around 135 million impact and revenue line, which transferred down to 30 million at the EBIT line and about 21 million at the NPAT level. Some of those through additional costs of complying with all the relevant requirements, and obviously the benefit of JobKeeper, some cost savings which were one-off around executives and management and the board all taking salary cuts during that April to June period.